but I'm going to start pretty much immediately on our discussion about Liv Morgan's championship win. Now, I can see several people asking questions based around a report that came via Stephanie Hypes, who was close to a photographer for Ronda Rousey and spoke with her there, to my knowledge, stating that Ronda Rousey had herself gone to upper management. I would assume this is in reference to Vince McMahon, given that talent relations aren't really there at the moment, and implored them to make Liv Morgan the new SmackDown Women's Champion. Now, number of things to consider there. Number of things. First and foremost, it is not up to Ronda Rousey who becomes the SmackDown Women's Champion, so if you think she's booking it, you are incorrect. However, there is also an element of truth to it. Ronda Rousey was open and did speak with management about losing the championship to Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan's name did specifically come up in discussion between Ronda Rousey and upper level management. However, she was not alone. Now, I have a list of other people who have knowingly spoken directly with the management team. In this regard, it would be suggested that it's Stephanie, but in reality, it's probably going to be Vince. The names that I have so far who have spoken about championship wins for Liv Morgan to management are Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey, and Sasha Banks. They have all spoken to upper level management about Liv Morgan in order to convince the WWE to give her the spot. You may notice that Sasha Banks is in that list, but she was not there at Money in the Bank. This is a long time thing. Becky Lynch, for example, has been talking about Liv Morgan for months now. For months. Liv Morgan herself was not told until the day that she would be winning the briefcase, and then not told until after that she would be winning the championship. The main reason for this is to avoid leaks, because let's say, for example, on Raw or on SmackDown, Liv Morgan was going to cash in and win the championship. Well, the entirety of Raw and SmackDown tends to get leaked ahead of time. So it's very hard to say conclusively that there would have been no leaks. The WWE trying to protect themselves from that in order to ensure that the information did not get out by not telling Liv Morgan. This is one of the many reasons, as Sai pointed out on the watch-along that we did, that Liv Morgan was in tears as she came out knowing that she would win the briefcase. As an aside, a number of people from the men's division have also had Morgan's back recently. These are the extra names that I found since. Most notably, they include AJ Styles and Xavier Woods. AJ Styles apparently had been requesting that Liv Morgan be involved in his feud with Judgment Day. Xavier Woods knows Liv Morgan quite well, so he also, strangely, very much has the ear of Vince McMahon directly. Vince McMahon really does trust and listen to Xavier Woods, and Xavier Woods was talking up Liv Morgan. So that is how we got to where we are now with Liv Morgan. The report about Ronda Rousey asking the WWE to have her lose the championship and hand it over to Liv Morgan, not quite true, but also not quite false. She did speak up about wanting Liv Morgan to become a champion, but she's not the only one. Now, if we speak directly about the SummerSlam plans, Rousey versus Charlotte was the plan until the change, which came late in the day and was related to the injury to Cody Rhodes. The WWE making changes to ensure that a feel-good vibe, as it were, ended the show, or at least was a large part of the show. Now, the WWE apparently really aren't happy with how Ronda Rousey has done on SmackDown so far and felt a change was needed. Ronda Rousey herself is not receiving much in the way of blame there, but they are considering changes to make to her character an overall appeal because they don't feel that she is connecting with the audience in the right way. The hope was that if she was working against Sasha Banks, there would be a little bit more to really get their teeth stuck into. A part of this is that a heel turn is being considered, and that has been considered for the past 2 months or so, essentially since she returned and won the championship. That would necessitate that at SummerSlam, if Charlotte Flair does invade the match, she would attack Liv Morgan instead of Ronda Rousey. The hope is that she would attack Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan would then pick up the win by DQ. She would then attack Ronda Rousey, leading to the possibility of a triple threat into the UK, or further, as it were. But it would mean that we are looking at Liv Morgan retaining the championship for a little while longer. From what I can tell, Liv Morgan will be holding that title at least until after Saudi Arabia, but not necessarily all the way into Survivor Series. So it's looking like a decent length of championship reign for her first one. As regards the future of Ronda Rousey, she would then be moved on to either a Lacey Evans or a Raquel Rodriguez, though WWE also didn't quite enjoy the reaction to Lacey Evans at Money in the Bank. One final addition to this is talk about the return schedule for Bayley. Bayley's return may have been pushed back to make room for this title change, with the Liv Morgan championship win taking the belt away from Ronda Rousey, though they are still pitching a number of different ideas for Bayley's return. Liv Morgan moving full-time to Smackdown, as she will be doing this championship run, does open the door for Bayley to be the one to return to Raw, rather than Bayley to debut once again on Smackdown, as was the plan until last week. Bayley is still waiting at the moment for the right opportunity to come up, but she is training, her knee is absolutely fine, and she is more than ready to jump in.